The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning here at 5 a.m. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher, and it is finally Friday. It's a really great Friday because we love a Friday where we can feature a bunch of cute pets.
I mean, what's not to like about that?
Absolutely.
It's going to be a great morning. And Kevin this morning is live at the SPCA showing us, of course, all the cute pups and cats, but he's also talking about why we're talking about Unleash Your Love and why it's so important for our community. Kev?
Yeah, good morning. This year a little bit different with COVID that we've been dealing with. The SPCA has kind of went a little bit of a different direction. If you remember, in years past, we used to have all the pups and kittens outside our studios. Well, things have changed a little bit. And today it's all going to be about making donation to the SPCA because it costs a lot of money to keep these dogs and cats healthy and ready for adoption. So today we're asking you to make a donation to 323-8353, or you can go to their website, SPCA, bakersfieldspca.org, and all the money staying right here at the shelter. Now, if you're interested in adopting a pet, you can also go to the website. They have all the pets there, and you can adopt through their website. So a little bit different for our Unleash Your Love drive this year, but again, all the money we raise today is going to help all those furry friends here at the shelter. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Let's also talk about the weather. It's been warming up. Yesterday, we hit another milestone, the warmest day of the year so far, and it was 93 degrees. And today I think we'll surpass that because we are expecting mid-90s. As we take a look at the temperature right now, 65 degrees in Bakersfield under a calm wind. As we take a look at the hour by hour for you today, you can see warming up pretty quick. By 9 a.m., 74. By 3 o'clock, we should be right near 95. Up in the Tehachapi area, sitting at 45 degrees right now under a calm wind. We will see a breeze pick up as we head into the weekend, and that wind advisory will be in place until 5 a.m. on Sunday. And that's for all the mountain and desert locations. In terms of temperatures today, you'll be in the lower 70s at 9 a.m. and then expecting the 80s throughout the afternoon. Could hit 85 degrees up in the Tehachapi area. We are going to see a cool down and a little bit of a change for your Saturday. I'll have more details on that coming up in just a little bit. But again, if you want to help out the SPCA, you can call the number 323-8353. We'll talk to Chuck Nordstrom coming up in just a little bit about how important all this is. Back to you.
All right, Kev, thanks so much. For the third straight day, a suspected child killer who is considered armed and dangerous is still on the loose. There is still no update on where Tyrone Johnson may be after he and David Palms escaped Lerdo jail on Wednesday morning. Both men are accused of killing 3-year-old Major Sutton in 2017. Court documents say Johnson kicked down the door to the boy's apartment in Bakersfield before he and Palms opened fire inside. Sutton was killed. His older brother and pregnant mom were wounded. On Wednesday, you may remember, both men escaped Lerdo. Palms was tracked down and arrested in Shafter later in the day. We asked KCSO how the two managed to escape the maximum security wing of the county's pretrial facility. All they are saying is the investigation remains active, and they're looking at any potential structural or security failures within the facility. Officials say they will release details as they become available as the investigation allows. Meantime, if you see Tyrone Johnson, call 911.
Your time now is 5:04. We now know the name of the man who was killed in a shootout with Bakersfield police that also left a police canine dead. It started when officers tried to stop a stolen car on Highway 58 just before 9 o'clock Tuesday night. The driver, 20-year-old Dalton James Garrett Koyman, swerved off the road after a chase and crashed down an embankment. Deputies in the sheriff's helicopter saw Koyman run into the backyard on Aphales Drive near Simon Drive. Video shows officers trying to arrest Koyman, sending in veteran police canine Django. Police say that's when Koyman fired several shots at law enforcement, striking the dog. Officers then returned fire, hitting Koyman, who later died of his wounds. Court records show that Koyman was arrested last month on firearm-related charges, and his case was pending.
Clinica Sierra Vista is now offering rapid COVID-19 testing and COVID-19 vaccinations. Call 833-278-4584 to make your appointment. But don't delay. Clinica Sierra Vista, putting patients first.
Now to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic here in Kern County as public health officials announced one new death due to COVID-19 and 23 new cases. 1,349 lives have been lost to COVID-19 in Kern since the beginning of the pandemic. And like we just mentioned, another 23 new cases were confirmed yesterday. This is the lowest number of cases we have seen since May of last year. Currently, state data shows 38 people are in the hospital with the virus, 8 are in the ICU. And a reminder, everyone 16 years and older is eligible to receive the vaccine. The vaccine site at the Kern County Fairgrounds is still operating Wednesday through Sunday from 9:30 in the morning till 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And the vaccine hub at CSUB is still accepting appointments through May 14th. To sign up for an appointment at any of these locations, just go to the state's website, myturn.ca.gov. You can also call the number on your screen, 833-422-4255. Kern Public Health wants to answer all your questions about the vaccines, and the department has launched a COVID-19 vaccine nurse hotline that you can call to get your questions answered. It is available from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. 7 days a week. The number to call is 677-4177, and you can call or text.
Your time now is 5:06. Now to the severe drought covering most of California right now. State lawmakers moving forward with a multi-billion-dollar package to address the state's drought issues. 17's Ashley Zavala explains how the money would be used.
A $3.4 billion drought relief package cleared its first hurdle in the California legislature Thursday as lawmakers try to swiftly send it to the governor for approval. The effort unanimously cleared a Senate Budget Committee on Natural Resources.
For every day or week that we wait in getting money on the ground, it's days and weeks that there's evaporation happening on our soils. And some of these water districts just quite frankly need some resources to get things done.
$500 million would be available immediately for emergency drought-related response for communities that need it across California. Thursday's Drought Monitor release showed 88% of the state is in a severe drought, with the entire state considered abnormally dry.
And not trying to just kick the can down the road or even wait for everything to shake out in Washington.
The proposed package would also put funds toward improving water supply in smaller communities, help ratepayers with COVID-related water debt, and provide help to struggling agriculture and local water agencies. The package would be paid with state and federal funds. State natural resources and water officials note California is seeing similar conditions to what it saw in its most recent drought a few years ago. Regardless of these conditions, Governor Gavin Newsom says he's still not ready to declare a drought-related state of emergency. Newsom's administration Thursday told lawmakers many lessons were learned in the last drought that led to projects and policies which they say improved California's protection from drought. Lawmakers say more still needs to be done.
Every day we wait is a day that we're losing the opportunity to get some seeds in the ground and stabilize that soil, as well as take care of the environment.
The package now heads to the Senate's full budget committee for approval. In Sacramento, Ashley Zavala, 17 News.
As mentioned, Governor Newsom says he's not ready to declare a drought emergency across the state yet, but that's what local lawmakers are urging him to do. Yesterday, state lawmakers declared a regional drought emergency for much of the San Joaquin Valley, and they're calling on Newsom to issue the emergency statewide. They argue that the state is in a crisis and in need of a statewide emergency declaration to allow for regulatory flexibility for water transfers.
And as the weather continues to heat up here at home, we're starting to see more vegetation fires break out around town. A fire broke out last night just after 11 p.m. off Panorama Drive below the Green Lawn Cemetery. The fire took several hours to extinguish. It was finally put out just after 2 o'clock this morning. No word yet on how that fire started. Your time now is 5:09, and the happiest place on earth is set to reopen today after being shut down for more than a year. Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure Park are opening their doors to the public for the first time in 411 days. That is the longest closure in the park's 66-year history. Disney says not all rides and dining experiences will be open, and parades and nighttime spectaculars have been put on hold. Also, 2 methods used to bypass lines have been paused temporarily, and you can't choose the Fast Pass or single rider options. Disney also noted on its website some experiences may be modified, limited in capacity, and subject to availability or closure. I know a lot of people are excited about this. I know a few friends that have made reservations to go to Disneyland. But it's just one sign that we're getting back to a pre-pandemic normalcy, which of course is excited for everyone.
I remember, I think it was a couple weeks ago that the tickets went on sale finally, and seeing people posting the pictures of them waiting online
for
because
hours.
You had to wait online.
4 hours.
I can't even imagine, because Disneyland is so packed all the time, and now it's this limited in capacity. Yeah, it's going to be hard to get those tickets for a while, I think.
For sure. Welcome back. Your time now is 5:21 and making headlines around the nation this morning. Photos of the officers killed in a standoff in North Carolina on Wednesday were released as the community around them continues to mourn. Deputy Logan Fox, who died at the scene, was 25 years old and had been with the K-9 unit for 2 years. Sergeant Chris Ward married his high school sweetheart and was the father of 2, ages 19 and 5, and had been in law enforcement for 8 years.
We are a law enforcement family. We're in a small community, and we're all broken right now. We're broken for the families who have lost their loved ones. We're broken for our officers that are still walking the line.
The investigation is being handled by the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigations, and it is ongoing. Meantime, 5 people have now been arrested in connection with the shooting of Lady Gaga's dog walker and the theft of her 2 French Bulldogs. According to the Los Angeles Police Department, 4 of the 5 suspects arrested are gang members from Los Angeles. The pop star's French Bulldogs were stolen in late February as the man walking her dogs was shot and seriously hurt. The dogs were later brought to an LA police station and returned to Lady Gaga. The LAPD said it is unlikely the suspects knew they were targeting Gaga's dogs, but may have been familiar with the value of that particular breed.
Start spreading the news. A date's been set for New York City's full reopening. Mayor Bill de Blasio says the city will be fully open by July 1st. Restaurants, theaters, stores, offices, sporting venues, all open. De Blasio says the reason they can plan that reopening date is because New Yorkers are getting vaccinated in extraordinary numbers. National news now. The Biden road tour heads to Philadelphia today, where the president will not only try to sell $4 trillion in new spending, he's celebrating one of his favorite ways to travel.
Tracy Potts has more this morning from Washington.
Alex and Maddie, good morning. Good morning, everyone. 8,000 round trips on the train. That's how the president says he got the nickname Amtrak Joe. He'll talk about that today as he continues to pitch his jobs and families plans. Later today in Philadelphia, President Biden marks Amtrak's 50th anniversary. He got the name Amtrak Joe, spending decades on the train between Washington and Delaware. His jobs plan would provide $80 million to upgrade transit. That, plus his family's plan, will cost taxpayers $4 trillion. Biden told voters in Georgia he's building on 100 days of success.
1,300,000 jobs in 100 days. That's more new jobs in the first 100 days of any president in history.
But Capitol Hill is sharply divided over the plans and the cost.
A blueprint for giving Washington even more money and even more power to micromanage American families.
Today's speech in Philadelphia also aims to push Congress to act on police reform in the next month.
We can't rest. We have a lot more to do.
Biden, for now, leaving negotiations in the hands of lawmakers. This morning, he'll tell the Today Show America is not racist.
But I think the overhang from all of the Jim Crow and before that slavery have had a cost, and we have to deal with it.
Biden today also expected to tout his coronavirus response. 200 million vaccinations so far, with New York, the nation's largest city, set to fully reopen July 1st. Other cities may follow suit, though some states like Minnesota and Oregon are seeing numbers go up. I'm Tracy Potts, 17 News.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.